can be proud today that we at least ended it the right way.
Joining us now from O.co, Kevin Acee, columnist for the San Diego Tribune. And Kevin, you just went through this scene last week in San Diego. The Chargers may have played their last game. What do you expect in Oakland tonight?
You know, I was just out in the parking lot, and it was a different vibe than in San Diego. I don't know if it's because the fans here have been through it before, if it's because we hate LA so much in San Diego. It was a party and a funeral last week in San Diego. Not to make too much of it. You know, it is sports, but that's our greatest civic institution in San Diego. I was overwhelmed by how overwhelmed the people that were at the stadium last week were. It was actually a pretty neat scene, but really sad. And I don't know what to make of tonight. I know Charles Woodson's going to be playing his last game here, and that seemed to be a little more on the fans' minds than the fact that the Raiders may be leaving. Do you have a hunch, being columnist for the Chargers, do you have a hunch if it's going to be San Diego or L.A.? I know you don't know for sure, but what do you think? Well, the answer that I always give, because this is what I have been following for more than a year, is all the evidence points to them leaving San Diego. But that's the evidence in San Diego for the most part. And the fact that it is not a done deal in Los Angeles and that there remain a number of owners that are undecided, that there are on both sides enough owners that are voting on each side to block the other guy that wants to move, it still could happen. And the most educated guess that I can give you is 70-30, and that's pertaining to the Chargers. Now, we get into talking about the Raiders and all the permutations of what could happen, the combinations. You know, there's not a great appetite among the owners for the Raiders to be in Los Angeles. Finally, January 12th, a meeting in Houston. That's got to be D-Day, right? Because you can't possibly extend this further into January, end of February, and expect any team to move. Agreed? There are a number of owners that feel that way, and they certainly want this off of their plate. They've got their own lives, their own teams. But there are people in the NFL, and there are other owners that say, including the owners of the teams involved, that say, hey, you know, we can make this happen if it were June. But I believe that you are correct, that if it is going to happen this year, it will happen on January 13th. Kevin Acee, you're a good man for doing yeoman's duty on Christmas Eve, working a football game and spending the night in Oakland. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it very much. Merry Christmas.
All right.
Thursday Night Football is next.
And we'll see you back here in the fifth quarter after the Raiders game and then our news at 11 o'clock. Go Raiders!